Hello. I changed my room again, and hopefully this will be the last time I change it, because I think I finally got it so I can have the most space in my room to do stuff. But I digress. That's not why I am here. I'm here because I just finished reading The Maze Runner. And again, this is not going to be in the right way because I'm using my laptop, because I do not have a good camera, because the camera I have only records like 8 minutes, and that would be annoying. So sorry, but you're gonna have to deal with it. But again, that's a digression. I just finished reading, like I said, The Maze Runner. And I know I'm late on the bandwagon. Most people probably read it before the movie came out. But I don't know, I wanted to read it a while ago. I think actually I heard about it my senior year, so 2 years ago. I think it was a Reading Olympics book for my high school. I think I heard about it then, and a lot of people were saying it was really good. So I wanted to read it since then, but I never really got around to it. It's one of those books where I wanted to read it, but it wasn't that high up on my list, so. But yeah, before I go into detail, for you people who have not read it, I will keep the spoilers out of this as much as I can. If you did not know, this is a dystopian kind of novel where it takes place in the future, where society has basically completely broke down, whether it's because of natural disasters or something like that. So it falls into the same category as like the Hunger Games or the Divergent series, and what was the other one? The Giver, and I think kind of Ender's Game. But those are the 4 main books that I've read before that have been dystopian. However, this book, it kind of falls in between them. On the one side is Divergent, then Hunger Games, which is mostly focused, or aimed, I guess, towards girls, although Hunger Games isn't as bad as Divergent, because both of them, they kind of focus a bit more, I guess, on the love story. And then on the other side is Ender's Game and The Giver, which is more, I guess, aimed towards boys because it has less of those kind of relationship kinds of things. So this kind of, I think actually would fall towards more the guys section because it's more action and that kind of stuff. But anyway, it falls into the category, and it is a really good dystopian novel, I think. Definitely a lot better than Divergent, that series. But I have problems with Divergent, which I will not get into now because I will be talking about The Maze Runner. So it is a good dystopian novel. The only thing is that it is really fast-paced, which I don't know if that's completely a bad thing or completely a good thing. It's good because you don't have to wait to get into the book. Pretty much the first sentence you're grabbed in. But it seems like, the bad part of it seems like it's going way too fast. Like, that can't possibly happen, like, in real life. Again, this isn't really based on real life because it's a dystopian future kind of book. But, yeah, that was the only thing. It was way, way too fast. And then also, it reminds me of Lord of the Flies. This, I think, would be the perfect way to describe this is like a modern rendition of Lord of the Flies that has like the positive version of it, where instead of everybody going well, not cannibalistic, but like warrior and all that kind of stuff, tribal, I guess, these guys get organized and that kind of stuff. So it's like Lord of the Flies, but organized and more non-panicky. So yeah, if you like Lord of the Flies, this would be a perfect book for you. If you have not read the book and you do not want spoilers, I would say not to continue watching this video because I'm going to talk about some stuff. Warned you, so don't get angry at me if you continue watching and you don't like that you hear spoilers. So, bye to y'all. Now, getting into the book. The first thing that I have written down, because like I said, it was kind of fast-paced, so I didn't really feel like there was anything I could write, because it was just completely going. So I think the first time I wrote something down to make a note of was like halfway through the book. And yeah, so I had written down that an important point thing was that Thomas told Chuck that crying is okay and that he's gonna make sure he sees his family, that kind of stuff. And honestly, that should have hinted to me that something bad was gonna happen to Chuck, because whenever the main character promises something like that to another character, usually the author is gonna kill him off or something like that. And oh my goodness, I I was actually good with this book. I didn't cry often, but oh, Chuck's death, which happened a lot later, and I'm kind of jumping ahead, but oh well. That really, did you need to kill Chuck? Like I said though, I should have seen it coming from Thomas, the main character, promising that Chuck was gonna see his mom or his family. I'll talk about that a little bit later because there's some stuff with that. But, and although like all the guys in this book, they all are organized and they do their job in order to not go Lord of the Flies tribal or something, a lot of them are dicks. And I understand part of it's because of the situation they're in. They're trapped in a box within a maze that has these weird creatures just completely, that, I don't know, that could hurt them. Which that sounded quite lame, but yeah, that's what they do. But still, like, you know, yeah, he jokes around, but he's not a dick. He can say mean stuff, but he's not completely a dick. Gally and Albie, on the other hand, they they are complete dickheads, and it's like, I don't know, I can understand why, but they take it too far, I guess. They're just bad people. And I don't know, as leader you would expect more from Albie, like he shouldn't act like a dick like that, but he does. I don't know, like both of them, they act mean towards Thomas the second he comes out of the, what do they call it, the box? I think they call it the box. They live in the Glade. The box is the elevator that comes to bring them supplies and people and that kind of stuff. Yeah, but the second Thomas gets out of the box, those two are just complete assholes to him, and I don't know why, because at that point he hadn't done or anything wrong, or things haven't gone as bad as they end up getting, or as weird as they end up getting, so there was no real reason in the beginning for them to act like that, but they did anyway. And then also, the intelligence and calmness in the organization of these guys is incredible, because as you see from Lord of the Flies, that is how you would probably expect boys that are quite young. They're all from like 12 to I think 19 was oldest. That's quite a range of boys that the younger ones would probably annoy the shit out of the older guys, and they'd probably just want to kill them because of their annoyance, let alone because they're stuck in a somewhat small space for a long period of time trying to survive. But it's just honestly incredible, because like I said again, Lord of the Flies, that was the bad, like everything went bad. And in the Maze Runner, somehow they all work together and they don't really fight, and they keep organized in order to survive. And I thought that was really incredible, because I don't think I'd be able to keep my cool in that kind of situation. And also, the Beetle Blades. I know we kind of figured out, like it said in the book, that the Beetle Blades were the creators, like how the creators saw what was happening, but we never really got a true explanation of what they are, so I'm hoping in the next books we might see more of that. I don't know, I think I need more explanation, and I hopefully they're in the rest of the books, so I can understand that, because that kind of confused me a little bit. Not confused me, it's just, I want more explanation for that. And then everything that happens with the girl, there's only one girl that comes in, oops, and she's the only girl there. She is the last person to be taken into the Glade, or to be brought into the Glade, and she really caused a lot of stuff to happen. I guess it was her and Thomas, but I don't know, I see it more with her, that it was all connected to her, because she remembers some stuff. She had written on her arm that wicked is good, which we never really got a definition or an explanation for that either, which I'm hoping, I'm pretty sure we'll probably get a better explanation in the next book, because of something that happened in the end of this book, which I will get to later. I definitely will get to later. But, yeah, she has telepathy with Thomas. She comes with a message saying that everything is going to change and that she is the last one, the last anything. And then the fact that she's the only girl there. Why is she the only one? And I know we find out later that all of these kids, they were really intelligent, and that's why they were put here as a test, as an experiment to see what would happen. Why is she the only girl? I mean, girls are smart too. A lot of girls are intelligent. So why not have more girls there? That is a question I have, and I hope that gets answered in the other books as well. And then also, going back to when Chuck died, how did Gally survive? That is my question. He was taken by the Griever, the little creature things that were roaming around the maze. He was taken by it after he said that the Grievers will take a kid each night and kill them. How come he did not die? And then when he comes back, he's with a woman who had, I guess, overseen the project or something. And I don't know, like, I want to know how that connection happened, and I don't know. And I think, though, it was more her fault. Like, trying to get my thoughts together. Gally goes to attack Thomas. He throws a knife, and he says right before throwing his knife that he doesn't really have control of his body or something like that. And I kind of believe him, because the way it was said in the book, it seems like he did not have control of himself. But then Chuck dives in front of Thomas to save him, because Thomas didn't move, which he saw it coming. It said he saw every turn or something like that. Why would you not move? Why would you just stand there? Chuck could have still been alive if he just ducked. But yeah, so that angered me. But like I said, after Chuck saves Thomas, and after a little bit of crying and mourning on Thomas's part, which is completely understandable, Thomas then goes and beats the shit out of Gally. But I don't think it was Gally's fault. Like I said, he didn't have control of his body. I would have attacked the freaking woman who just stood there and did nothing and allowed everything to happen. She even said that there was one more test that you have to complete in order to be successful or something like that. That would have angered me, because after finding out that living in the maze was an experiment and that people, and after seeing the people who oversee the experiment right there, I would have attacked the adults who had been part of the project. Gally, yeah, he was an asshole. He was an asshole. But he was also a pawn. Like the rest of the people who were in the rest of the kids that were in the maze and the glade and that kind of stuff, I would have attacked that bitch. She would have been the first one on my list to attack, because she was not protected by other people. But then, rescuers saved the kids. They freaking shot the lady down, but I don't think she died. They attacked her, but I don't think she died. Even though they shot her a lot of times. That always happens. I always press the stop button when I'm in the middle of a big rant. But anyway, even though they shot her down and it said just bullets were going through her body and she hit the floor and that kind of stuff, I don't think she died. I might just be stupid and just me thinking stuff, and people, if you watched or read all the books, and you might be laughing at me right now, but I don't think she she's gone. Because, again, the last couple pages of this book I will get to a little bit later. I don't want to ruin it yet. But yeah. And then I don't know if I would have trusted them. That might have just been hindsight from what I read. But I don't know. At that point, I think all adults would have kept me on edge because they allowed it to happen. But then again, in those kinds of situations, I could imagine you would want to trust anybody that kind of got rid of the bigger threat and saved you from that kind of situation. But then again, when they were running from the building, I guess, to a bus, which I couldn't really picture that whole thing in my mind. It might have been because it was too fast and I was just completely mind blown from everything that happened a little bit before with the shooting and the Chuck dying and all that stuff. But the way the rescuers acted towards the lunatic woman who was just there, who tried to stop Thomas and was saying that, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was along the lines probably of they're using you, you're the savior or something like that, or I don't know. Don't remember exactly. But one, they like push her off of Thomas like roughly. And then once they all got onto the bus, they just run her over. They don't even care. Like what I pictured seeing is that they had a whole bunch of space, because I think they were, how I picture it, might not be true, was some kind of like desert area where there was no like road and they could honestly just drive wherever. And the woman was there. They could have easily, in my mind, not hit her, but they just right onto her in cold blood and killed her. And Thomas had a little doubt about that, but he let it go. So I'm hoping in the next book he kind of remembers that and like, something's fishy here. They saved us kids, but they killed that woman. So there must be something going on. And then finally, the last page of the book. It was like something that you would put into like, well, they call it the Wicked Memorandum. So it's like some important note or analysis that is going to be put into like a file or something like that. Sorry, I can't explain it right now for some reason. Words are not coming to me to describe it. But anyway, it says that this was Group A. The rescuers are really people who are part of the Wicked project, which was the project that had the kids in the glade and the maze in the first place. So, like I said, they should not have trusted the rescuers. They should not have trusted any adult. If anything, I think they should have trusted the lunatic who got ran over, because she probably was the most honest about everything than the rest of the adults. But anyway, and it says that the maze trials was Group A. So I have a feeling that the next book, which is called the Scorch Trials, that is going to be Group B. And it's probably going to be the same situation, but I have a feeling it might be all girls and then one guy is going to show up. That's what I predict is going to happen. Again, people who read the books already might know differently. Well, they would know differently. But you'd know exactly what happens, and I might be completely wrong, but that is my prediction, and hopefully I'm not completely wrong. That was The Maze Runner, and hopefully I finish the next book quite quickly, but then again I don't want to, because I only have, these are my last physical copy books unless I go to a library, but the library here's in Glasgow kind of suck. They're not, well, I don't know, they might not suck, I'm just not used to them and I don't want to look around. It's not my library that's back home, where I know where everything is and can get around easily. So it might just be because I'm biased. But anyway, I might not have other books, physical books to read, and I don't know if I want to do it on my Kindle or on my laptop. So maybe I'll drag these out, maybe I won't, maybe I'll just read them one after the other. Who knows? But I will be making more videos about them because I really did, I did like this book. It was a really great book. And I know that I say that about a lot of the books I read and put on this, but this was I think it might be my second favorite dystopian kind of book behind The Giver. So we'll see how the rest goes. That might make my decision or my thoughts on this book a lot different. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, do all those things. And yeah, I'll see you next time.